Some of you may wish to lay down. Some of you may wish to find some pillows or bolsters to kind of support yourself in a way that's needed. We always say if we were live in person at Copper Beach, some folks would be laying down and some folks would have their feet up on a chair and there'd be blankets and pillows and yoga mats. And we always say that it's not a real retreat or course at Copper Beach unless it looks like a sleepover party. So imagine this is kind of like a virtual slumber party.
Okay.
And just like a slumber party, we won't sleep, hopefully. I love it. I'm seeing some adjustment. Allowing the eyes to do whatever they want. You're welcome to allow them to close or allow the gaze to simply lower. And really trusting that it's okay to be here right now with each other. Trusting that whatever you have accomplished today, whatever's been done or left undone, it's enough. And bringing awareness, if it feels comfortable for you, first to the breath at the belly. Noticing this gentle rising and falling. Breathing in, the belly expands and rises. And breathing out, the belly falls. Letting go of the need to breathe in any sort of special way. Really trusting the body's wisdom. Trusting that it knows how to do this. Bringing a kind of warm, curious, and kind attention to all of the sensation around the belly that you're noticing as we inhale and exhale. And letting go of the need to feel any sort of special way. Just trusting that whatever's arising here in the moment is welcome. So there's no need to force. There's no need to manufacture what we think might be peaceful feelings or enlightenment or some great insight. Just trusting that it's enough just to watch this breath. Breath is like a faithful friend that warmly welcomes us over and over. Bringing curiosity to the breath to see if it's possible to sense the stillness that's in between inhalation and exhalation. this beautiful teaching just within the breath about the companioning of action and stillness. The motion of inhalation and exhalation is bonded together by this slice of stillness. Both action and stillness are belonging together. Companions on the journey. A really wise reminder to us that we need both movement and stillness to nourish each other. They're like two wings that allow our spirits to fly. And allowing 3 more breaths to flow with great gentleness and care. I invite you to allow the breath to shift now into the background of your awareness as we bring the foreground of our awareness to the soles of the feet. Just sensing whatever sensations are available there at the soles. Noticing how the earth rises up to meet the feet, rises through the floor. This beautiful tethering of our bodies to the earth. And just noticing all of the sensation that's available at the soles of the feet. Scanning for temperature, moisture or dryness. The touch of clothing, socks or shoes. Or if the feet are bare, noticing the texture of whatever's in contact with the bare feet. This can be a really powerful and simple grounding practice when we feel like the inner critic is spiraling. We feel a kind of overwhelm when the nervous system is really, really activated and we have fight or flight or freeze. There's something about just bringing attention to the soles of the feet that can feel really, really helpful. And now I'm going to invite you to shift awareness from the soles of the feet. And I'd like to invite you to call to mind a moment when your inner critic was activated. And as we talked about, bringing to mind a really gentle moment. A moment that is not the occasion of really super intense feelings or emotions, but one that feels like it's approachable. It feels safe for us to move through in this space together as new friends, as we are to one another. So taking just a moment to call this moment to your memory. Did it arise when you had to do something like something professionally? You were called upon to public speak, or to lead, or to do a project, or to try something new, or to have a hard conversation, to tell the truth about something, to share your experience, to look in the mirror. Some external quality, some physical attribute that calls into your, activates your inner critic. Something that feels gentle and approachable, and allowing the breath to really support us through the practice, just reminding us to take care of ourselves, trusting that we can walk away at any moment, we can take a break. We can ignore my instruction if we need some space. The breath can always be a kind of support or anchor. It can also be a place of refuge for us. As you think about this moment where the inner critic has been activated, I'd love to invite you to just turn your attention to the thoughts that were streaming through your mind. As this moment of activation was upon you, and maybe, for some of us, maybe this is going back and remembering the thoughts. Maybe for some of us, that moment is so raw and real that those thoughts are coming to us right now. And I'll invite us just to notice, just to practice our quality of attention, curious and open. As if we could literally watch the thoughts arise and disappear in our field of awareness, in our mental space, as if they were arising on a screen. Just spending a few moments of quiet just to notice what those thoughts were. Whatever they were, you're not enough. Who are you to do that? You're ugly, or fat, or not smart enough, or someone smarter than you should be doing this, or they'll hate you, or you'll be a failure. Whatever that ticker tape of thought pattern is, just seeing if it's possible just to notice it. Allowing the support of the breath to really stabilize us with this kind of deep looking. You might imagine that you're on the riverbank and the thoughts are just floating by in the river. You don't need to dive into the river. The river is containing all these boats of thought that are floating by. You don't have to hop on every boat. You can just watch them from the security and safety of the shore. And taking just another moment to notice the stream of thought. And now allowing a kind of letting go of thought. Letting thought dissolve as we return to the breath for a moment. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in, breathing out. You know that I'm breathing out. And now turning our attention to the emotions that were activated in this moment that you've recalled. And bringing the same kind of curiosity and openness, the same kind of loving and caring attention to just your inner space and noticing what emotions arose. And again, for some of you, this may mean looking back in the past and noticing what emotions came to you in that moment. For some of you, this may be so raw and real that you can literally feel those emotions arising now. And just really trusting the breath, trusting your practice, or trusting your need to step back and get some space and take a break. And really just noticing, is it fear? Is it worry? Is it anxiety? Is it some combination of all of those emotions? It's quite possible that several emotions are arising simultaneously, right? It's part of the gift of being human that we can feel so many things at once. It's also quite possible that your emotions are shy, and if emotions are shy and they run away, just allowing the attention to go back to the breath as a kind of home base. Just allowing them to be what they are. Of course, the great purpose of emotions is to be felt. The purpose of feelings is to be felt. Noticing how they change, how they arise, how they depart. Allowing the support of the breath to bolster. Now, to the extent that it's possible, letting go of the emotions and letting them dissolve on their own pace. Of course, they have a life of their own, so they'll come and go as they wish. Seeing if it's possible to shift attention back to the breath, letting the breath be in the foreground. And lastly, with the support of the breath, calling to mind what sensations in the body accompany this inner critic activation. Seeing if it's possible to either go back in our memory and explore what it felt like in the body to move through this inner critic activation. Or once again, for some of you, this memory might be so real and visceral that those sensations are really present and live for you now. And really, really trusting in this breath practice to support us. Or trusting yourself if you need to step away. But seeing what's possible. Is it possible to be really curious about where in the body these emotions were arising? Is it a kind of tightness in the chest, or a kind of dullness in the belly, or heat, or cold, tingling? And if no sensation or feeling in the body is registering, trust that that's okay too. And you can always return back to the breath. And taking just a moment longer to notice where in the body some sensation is registering as you call to mind this inner critic activation moment from your life. Giving yourself permission to feel whatever it is that wants to be felt. And for a moment, returning back to the breath as we allow the sensations to dissolve at their own pace. Breathing in, the belly rises. And breathing out, the belly falls. Just take a few moments of silent practice together. And hearing these words from, once again, this little excerpt from Lynn Unger's poem, Pandemic. Reach out your heart, reach out your words, reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. So when you're ready, lifting the gaze or opening the eyes. I'm so thankful for our practice together and our willingness to turn toward this space in us.